The story's told of a monarch in medieval Morocco who came up with a novel way of dealing with overcrowding in his prisons. He set up chess games using prisoners as live pieces. When one was taken, he was instantly beheaded. From Henry VIII to Henry Kissinger, from Napoleon to Nasser, chess has held a fascination for those who wield power. And it goes the other way too. For the grandmasters of the game, chess is an experience of power.
I don't think there's anything more intense than a battle of chess. You're just facing the guy across the board. He's putting all his personality on the line, and so are you. And I really feel it is a sport. It's a real fight.
There's a gladiatorial, face-to-face, mano-a-mano aspect to it, where I sit across the board and face you, and it's two people. The brain waves, the tension, often the smell, the sheer tension of it affects the game.
It's really just one person against another. Nothing, you know, there aren't hurdles to jump over or anything like that. It's really just this struggle between two people, just like in a boxing ring.
Nigel Short, England's leading chess warrior, goes into battle next week against the Soviet Union's Boris Gelfand in the quarter-finals of the World Championship Eliminators. It's the most important match of his life. Short and his fellow professionals know that chess at the highest level requires a mental and physical toughness that's rare even in professional sport. And to them, what they do is sport.
I think the sort of training that one needs for an important match or an important tournament is it's actually very similar to the training one needs for the top level at any sport. You need a lot of time, a lot of dedication. You just simply need to put the work in.
Like, for instance, Garry Kasparov, the world champion, trains several hours a day, very, very serious physical exercise. And he attributes some of his edge over Karpov to his greater physical stamina. And people say that chess isn't a sport, but I've never, like, if you remember the first Kasparov-Karpov match, it was terminated because the players were both so exhausted. Like, it does sound like a sport to me.
As you get into the real championship level, you must be fit, and the players know it. They will go swimming, they will go rowing, they will go running, they will take courses of vitamin C. They will none of them smoke anymore, they've all given up smoking, and only a few of them drink heavily.
The Germans call chess a think sport. But when the going gets tough over the board, it's not the mind that matters so much as the nerves.
When the clock has come round and you've literally got a few seconds left, and you're sort of feeling the board, and there may be a couple of thousand on the game, and a very important title, and you can't find a move just won't come, and you know, your heart rate's going like, and you just think, my God, I need that move, where's that move? And, you know, a voice, and you're waiting for a voice to kind of say, move it there, and sometimes it just won't come, and you just throw out a move, and at that point you just lose control.
You're under tremendous tension, so either you're absolutely ice cold, completely without emotion, or you're knocking all the pieces over and fall all over the place. You can still do it, but it's still a strain. There's a story of a very strong player, I won't say who, in fact, who actually froze. He had a one position against somebody. He just couldn't physically make the move, so he lost on time. You know, he was doing this, trying to pick his knight up, and he just couldn't do it.
Most other sportsmen can leave the game behind in the locker room. Chess players can't. Any important game, anywhere in the world, must be instantly logged in their memory. For the kings of the checkered board, the workload can be awesome.
I feel this sort of weight on top of me, and that can be quite oppressive, and that can even prevent you from doing any work at all. And so there's always these sort of constant battles with yourself to find the, you know, sort of whipping yourself. Come on, yeah, let's work for a few hours now. This is a sort of, it's a daily struggle.
But the struggle has paid off. It's little appreciated that England are more successful at chess than at perhaps any other sport. In world terms, second only to the state machine of Soviet chess. Yet despite this, and despite the fact that 40,000 people play the game competitively, English chess remains ill-organized and underfunded. Compared to his Soviet rivals, Michael Adams, who many believe could one day become world champion, feels that he's very much on his own.
British chess has never really got the federation or the system to support the kind of quality players that they have got. I mean, if you compare it to, say, the first nation in the world at chess, Russia, I mean, their players are really nurtured on, whereas in England, you know, it's really very hit or miss, you know, and sort of make it by yourself, really.
Moscow Road in London's Bayswater is an apt place for the downfall of Soviet chess to be plotted. While cricket has its Lords and tennis its Wimbledon, English chess has the King's Head pub. It's a nice place for a drink. It's also about as close as the country comes to having a chess academy. London is the only European capital to lack a chess centre. And for England's top players, there's little incentive to play at home. Tournaments that pay sufficiently are few and far between, and there's no social recognition for chess success.
There's something of a culture problem. Like, for some reason, we don't seem to value things which actually take a lot of time, actually are quite interesting, are very, very intense. We like the sort of flashy things, or almost very simple things.
Well, I don't play very much in England. I played one match in the last 2.5 years, and that was only because I had to.
We can compare anywhere, and it's all much better than England. Like, I used to make my money just by travelling France or Spain. Like, there's thousands of tournaments, and there you're treated like something kind of special. You almost appreciate it. I'm sure darts wouldn't have quite the same turnout in France or Spain. Like, you're really something.
I think they do feel upset by it. I think they do feel that more could be done, that there should be more recognition. But I think the recognition will come if we get a champion.
England's immediate World Championship hopes rest with Nigel Short. For 6 months, he's known that his opponent will be Boris Gelfand. Chess at this level can only be compared with boxing. It's about the meticulous preparation for the destruction of another individual.
I've been thinking about the match. I've spent several weeks working, preparing for him, going through his games, trying to analyse his weaknesses, and also thinking, you know, from the psychological point of view, what might be very unpleasant for him.
The unpleasantness of losing is almost unbearable for someone like Nigel Short. When a grandmaster is defeated, it's more than his chess pieces that are knocked out.
You're almost interlocked in a sort of ego battle. And if you lose, if he plays a move and you go down, you almost feel his personality's better.
Coping with the defeat can be very difficult to me. My last match against John Speelman, I almost let this get to me, because after 5 games, I was in a terrible depression. We had a free day, and I was playing the day afterwards, and I simply couldn't get out of bed at all that day, because then I would have to think, you know, and this would be terrible. Then I would be reminded that I was losing this match.
Nigel Short got off the floor to beat John Speelman, setting up his confrontation with Gelfand. World Championship chess requires a total, almost blinkered dedication that perhaps only the callousness of youth can provide.
To be a real champion, you have to be utterly ruthless and take every opportunity that comes your way. And if you feel mercy for your opponent, compassion, or you think, well, you know, this man's lost me the last 10 times, I'll give him a draw today, that's it. You will never become world champion.
I don't like to hurt other people at all, and I mean, it is very unpleasant losing games of chess. On the other hand, normally one is taking part in this with somebody who's contracted to try to do the same to oneself.
Yeah, I think you've got to be. Yes, you've got to kill people. This is very important. And I enjoy winning. You know, I'd be very happy to beat the hell out of Gelfand. You know, I won't have any regrets about that at all. So it is, of course you have to kill people. So that's what it's all about.